Hi, good morning. This is Reflections, and I'm NancyJoy. Today we're talking about ego. Haven't touched on that in a long time, but there was a quote I read by David Cowan, whose book Navigating the Collapse of Time, which I really loved. I even like those words, Navigating the Collapse of Time. And he says this: some anthropologists say the ego evolved primarily out of our need to survive in a hostile environment, and it still operates largely in this mode. The ego actually wants you to think you are your body, and that the preservation of that body should be the primary concern. Well, wow, this got my wheels thinking, my wheels rolling along, because if our body is our primary, we know better. We know we're here in this body with this identity of NancyJoy, as we spoke about last week in the Infinite Consciousness video, having this experience because as creators we chose to come in during this time, make this shift, etc. And so we know we're so much more than that. But while you're in here, you do need to work with the energies and vibrations of this dimension. It's almost what you came to do. And so in this way, we can think of the ego as almost serving us. So anyway, this is where I took it. Ezekiel has always said, Ezekiel is the emotional grid of humanity, that ego is a part of our 3D, 4D identification fields. It identifies the role we're playing out in this vibrations of, he says, the third and fourth dimension. And while we are in this arena, the ego is necessary so that we can learn what we need to learn by our experiences and what we create. And, as an emotional healer, if there's one thing the ego tickles and brings into activity is your emotions. When something happens and you're emotionally responding to it, you are no longer the observer watching yourself have an experience that isn't really you. You are in your ego identifying with the experience you're having and feeling those emotions. So here's the thing. Just as we talk all the time about your emotions are tools, and they're only energy. It's all they are, is they're energy fields of various vibrations. And that once you identify the emotion and feel it, you can use it to help you make a shift consciously. If you're having anger, your choices, you can use this anger to move yourself forward, take your power back, stand and awaken, whatever. Or you can use this anger to project it outward, blame someone, hit someone over the head, or hurt someone with it. It's not anger that's the issue. It's your consciousness and how you choose to use that anger. And it's the same with every emotion. Of course, the love field overrides all of that. But then again, that totally unconditional love is where we are in these lower dimensions, not able to access. Why? Because our ego identifies us separately and protects us. How can we be one with our neighbor? It brings, for me right now, our whole lawsuit with our neighbor thing. How can we be one with our neighbor with this energy that just keeps upsetting us and getting us to look at things? Well, it was exciting for me to really realize that the ego is also an energy field, and that just like our emotions, we can use our ego as a tool in this leap into infinite consciousness. Because when we are, as I said, feeling those things, we are in our ego. And instead of making the ego the bad guy, it's all one. It's all one energy field. It's like, if we are all one, how can it be us against them? It can't be. You can't believe, well, you can believe both things at once, but it's a conflict for you, because ultimately us awake people that are awake, we know we're connected to everything. Everything we do has an effect on everything else. It's just, that's even physics. So why not learn a new way to work with your ego? I found this really exciting. Why not, when you feel your ego in there, and if you're feeling really bad and upset about somebody else or something infringing on you, feeling victimized, whatever that might be, say, wow, ego, okay, I get it. I am really hooking in to the lower vibrations in the lower dimension here, and you are just here showing me that so I can learn how to transmute it and change it consciously in the moment, in the right now. So I find this exciting. It talks more about how our reptilian brains were used by the whatever Illuminati, reptilians, whatever you want to call it, to control humanity, that we were genetically manipulated. Be that as it may, the ego is the very thing, along with the emotions and your consciousness, that can shift this whole field. And you know, we had a huge breakthrough for us, my husband and I, with this whole case, and really when we understood what was making us so upset and could identify how the ego was showing us what we need to let go of, be comfortable with, and vibrate in the higher fields with, the whole situation shifted this week. So this does work, folks. And it's not the same thing as pretending things are okay and putting a smiley face on them when they aren't. It really isn't the same thing. So ponder on all this week. Have a great week. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend. Lots of fun for everyone. The winter weather in Iowa, well, we didn't have much. I guess nobody did, and it's been just gorgeous. So I hope it's great where you are too. And I'll talk to you again next week. Bye.